What Return to the Hive is, other than a fun little play on our mascot, is a debt forgiveness program. So debt that folks have with Baker College as an entity that prevented them from continuing on in their academic journey. The first phase of it is 50% is forgiven after successful completion of their first term, and then the remaining 50% is forgiven after they complete their second semester with us.
Welcome back to The Rock Pod, produced for the Royal Oak, Michigan Chamber of Commerce. I'm John Gay from Jag Podcast Productions.
I'm Lisa Bibby, your realtor with Century 21 Northland.
Baker College has been a great partner with the Chamber. We're pleased to have two all-stars with us today. Tonya Jennings is the Assistant Director of Admissions Recruiting, and Nathan Wright is Assistant Director of Strategic Partners in Continuing Education. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Hey, thanks.
So Nathan, you told us offline that you have been to 12 countries. John and I both love to travel. If you had to pick a favorite, which country would be your favorite?
Very hard question. I break it down into three different categories. So Rome and Italy generally, I think, is best for food and like ancient things. And then London, I would move there in a heartbeat. And Barcelona, I would also move in a heartbeat. So those are my top three.
That was a tough question. I'll give you that. Okay, Tonya, cat mom, plant mom, but this one jumped off the page at me. Former employee of a whitewater rafting company?
Yes. I was freshly 21 years old, and my friend and I, we decided to just book it out to Colorado for the summer. And yeah, we rafted every single day.
Oh, that sounds amazing. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, I look back and I can't believe I did that. But I'm glad it's in the past. It was a lot of fun. Totally recommend it.
Nice. So there's a lot of places to get an education in Southeast Michigan, and we're going to talk to you about what Baker does to attract new students. But first, we've got to ask you about this unique Return to Hive program for former students. I see the words debt forgiveness here.
Yes, absolutely. So we are the Baker Bees as of 3 years ago now, I believe it is. Tonya, catch me if I'm wrong, but that's when we launched our official mascot. We didn't have one before in our long history. We were founded in 1911. But what Return to the Hive is, other than a fun little play on our mascot, is a debt forgiveness program. So looking at institutional debt. So this is debt that folks have with Baker College as an entity, not a federal loan forgiveness or anything like that. We focus on the debt that people owed us that prevented them from continuing on in their academic journey. The first phase of it is 50% is forgiven after successful completion of their first term, and then the remaining 50% is forgiven after they complete their second semester with us. And then if students graduate in one semester, then obviously that adjusts, so they receive the 100% debt forgiveness in that matter. People are eligible if they've been out of Baker 2 years or more, and meet the re-enrollment criteria too.
That's amazing. So you stopped going to school because you just couldn't afford it, which has happened to so many people, especially nowadays. And you can go back to Baker, you said, if you've been out 2 years or more, and get that previous debt taken care of. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it may not be they couldn't afford it at the time, or if life just happens, we know like life is busy, right? So working adults, they start a family unexpectedly or expectedly, and they just have to take a pause in their educational journey. We want to make sure that we're part of the solution there, not a part of the problem that's keeping them from getting that education.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, guys. That is fantastic.
All right. So one of the wonderful things about living in this area is the diverse culture of residents in and around the Royal Oak area. Lisa and I both know a lot of folks who are first-generation college students. What programs do you have in place for them?
Well, we have a whole coalition of employees and faculty, staff that just support students all together, not just first-gen students, but our philosophy at Baker is student first in general. So we do have a coalition for specifically just first-gen. And Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong, are you part of one of those groups as well for the first-gen?
Yes, absolutely. So first-gen Bs is what we call it. So we have one for our students and then one for the staff too. So first gen, for those who don't know, it's been gaining popularity over the years, but it's for folks that have a parent or parental figure in their life that has not completed a bachelor's or higher level degree. So some folks have an associate's level, but they may not have the bachelor's or higher. Students that don't have that parental figure with that experience that they can back up into for support, questions, anything like that for somebody who has gone through it before.
Nice. And I've come across so many working professionals who have thought about going back to school for a master's degree, but they never seem to have the time. Talk to us about Baker's accelerated one-year MBA program.
The 1-year MBA, we're just trying it out this year for the first time, but it's 100% online. Students, it's great for working individuals who work full time and kind of can pace their coursework at what is convenient for them. And so every 4 weeks, the student will enter into a new course. So at the end of the year, they will earn their MBA in just that 1 year. So it's fast paced and it's great for those that are able to manage their time well, of course. And it's just really great for those that are trying to level up their education in one way or another.
That is really cool. And, we've talked about, going from Gen Z to first Gen Bs, as you said, and we've talked about the accelerated master's program, but not all education is for class credit. I think this is really cool that Baker does continuing ed programs as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's an area that I help manage at Baker. So we have over 1,400 courses, and courses meaning certifications or anything that's non-credit bearing. So think of like one I always reference is gardening in small spaces. That's just a fun lifestyle one that you can do for like $30. I didn't get a certificate after. We have that and then everything in between. So accounting, fundamentals, finance, nonprofit management, all the way up to like HVAC technician or CDL training for folks that are wanting to go into that. So we really run the gamut as far as those 1,400 courses are concerned. And then in addition to that, we also have in-person on the continuing ed side. So for folks that want in-person learning, there are specific programs. So we have our certified medication aid and certified nursing aid out of Owasso. And then we also partner with employers too. So upskilling their workforce in a specific skill set or learning a specific thing that they're trying to incorporate into their organization. We help with that too. So a great example here would be our Spanish in manufacturing. So we had an employer come to us with a concern that their supervising staff and their manufacturing staff wasn't able to communicate effectively. And so with that, we're helping to meet the skills gap need there. So teaching the supervising staff Spanish, and then also looking into teaching English to our Spanish-speaking folks at that organization.
That is a lot. And did you say 1,400?
Yes, absolutely. So over 1,400. Those are the online section ones.
Okay. And I love that you mentioned some of these skilled trades because talk to anybody that'll tell you we have a real shortage right now. So I'm glad you're doing that as well.
I know that we're in the dead of winter in the holiday season, but let's warm things up a bit. You've got summer programs for both middle and high school students, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to continue our summer camp. So last year we ran a successful summer camp for middle school students. And so we're bringing that back this year, and we're excited to bring on new partners and then also expand the programming too. So it's not the same programs that we had last year, but expanding what those look like. So registration will open with that in the spring. Our high school camps are running from June 29th through August 6th next year. It's going to be Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to noon on the Royal Oak and Owasso campuses. So I know this is for the Royal Oak pod, but they're also available out in Owasso. And then we'll have the middle school camps. Those will run June 22nd to July 30th, 2026. And that's also Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's on the Royal Oak campus. If people are looking for a place to send their kids so they're occupied and limit the brain drain on what they've learned that year, we're here to help out.
Awesome. All right. As we look at 2026, which is coming up faster than we can believe, the workforce and its needs are changing quite a bit. Are there specific industries that Baker's prioritizing?
One thing that I do love about Baker College and working for Baker College is the opportunity to look at the market trends and see what jobs are getting employed. And so we're able to work with that and change up our curriculum depending on the market needs and what's advancing, which is really cool. So as always, we still have our healthcare fields. So associate degrees in, for example, diagnostic sonography, rad tech, and nursing is huge. We need nurses like crazy, right? So we don't have wait lists for our nursing programs on all of our campuses, which is really exciting. Wow. We can take a ton of nurses and we have great partnerships. So those are definitely those high demand fields. And our students can easily get out in the field, get a job right after college, making some really good money too. We also, as we know, AI is taking full force all over the world. So we have our technology, our IT programs with an AI concentration as well. And we're really, I would say, Nathan, if you agree with me, but we're really wholeheartedly accepting AI in our institution and engraving it within like Canvas and in our classes as well. So I'm pretty proud to be working for an institution that is really staying up to date with the trends.
I would definitely second that as far as doubling down on our AI efforts and AI integration. So schools and educational institutions that are not going toward the AI future will ultimately end up in the past. And I think that is one thing that is setting Baker apart specifically. So aligning ourselves with AI, integrating it into the system, and not only that, but also teaching the students how to use it ethically and effectively. It's going to be the future for the folks that know how to use AI and use it as a tool. It's not to replace us. It's not to replace people in most cases, but it is to help us as a tool, just like the early internet or Google has been. I was actually just at a conference this morning, and we were talking about how companies need to shift their marketing to, instead of search engine optimization, to like generative engine optimization. And with that, talking about switching from keywords or phrases to longer sentences, making sure that their websites have that up to date, to make sure that they're getting into that AI overview. Because we know people don't click our websites anymore or click onto websites or dive deeper. And being a part of that is really exciting.
That's absolutely true. I think about how it used to be, okay, Google would give you a list when you look something up, and now ChatGPT would give you an answer. And now Google has followed suit, and here's your AI result. And, 9 times out of 10, it's going to answer your question in that first thing without having to click the links. And you want to show up in that one spot as opposed to the first page of Google. So well said.
Exactly. Yeah. And making sure that our students know that AI is not always accurate, so make sure you're double checking and doing the research in addition to making sure you're reviewing that and make sure that it's still legitimate, right?
And don't write your papers with AI either.
Exactly. It's a tool, not a replacement.
Yeah, apparently they're called hallucinations when AI does glitches. And so we constantly keep doing these updates to fix the hallucinations, which means the inaccuracies that AI is coming up with.
Right.
Now it is time to switch things up a little bit, and we are going to ask you guys our Fishbowl question of the day, where we ask you both a totally random, unexpected question. John, do you want to pull today's question?
They have that deer in headlights, but no, Tanya's hands are folding like she's really excited about this. She's like, ooh, okay. All right, I'll ask you both, whichever one of you wants to take it first. Same question. What was your favorite childhood book? I know, Tonya, you've got an education background too, so I'm sure it's a hard choice for you.
You know what? I actually have it right behind me.
Oh, cool.
Very wild.
She doesn't have a fake background. It's really a bookcase.
Dr. Seuss.
It's real.
I know
it's real.
It's Dr. Seuss.
So there's 2 of them. The Velveteen Rabbit was always one of my favorite.
Okay.
And then, of course, All the Places You'll Go. And it was really cool when I was teaching. I can't tell you how many parents would bring me this book at the end of the school year for me to write a little note to their student. And when the students graduated, every page was filled with their teachers writing little notes to them. Oh, and so yeah. I loved that book as a kid. And then when I got to see it, as an adult in that way, it was so awesome.
How are you going to top that, Nathan?
I was going to say green eggs and ham because I like how it rhymed. So I can't top that.
Well, Dr. Seuss was brilliant, so glad they're both on your top picks.
Lisa, do you have one?
I was going to pick All the Places You Go, or what's the Monsters Under the Bed one? It's not Monsters Under the Bed, but it's the Monsters one. They actually made a movie of it.
Where the Wild Things Are?
Yes, Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah.
I love that one.
See, for me, it would either be Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, because my middle name's Alexander. That's the A in JAG. Or The Little Engine That Could, because my mom gave it to me when I was potty training.
So perfect.
That's very sweet. Good question.
True story.
Well, thank you, Tonya and Nathan, so much. We have learned so much about Baker College and really excited for people to get out and actually continue their education. Do you guys want to let our listeners know how they can get a hold of you?
Sure thing. So Nathan and I are both located at the Royal Oak campus, although we represent, all of our campuses around Michigan and online. But you are more than welcome to come stop in to Royal Oak campus at any time. We'd be more than happy to give you a tour. You can give us a call or find us online. And then if you want to set up a visit formally, you can find the visit tab on our website as well.
Can you give us the website?
Baker.edu.
Great. My name is Lisa Bibby, and I'm a realtor with Century 21 Northland. I put the real back in realtor, and we want you to love where you live. Questions about buying or selling your home? Call my cell at 248-981-3610. My website is soldbylisab.com, and you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Sold by Lisa B. Let's connect.
And I'm John Gay from Jag Podcast Productions. I'm the podcast guy. If you have an audio or video podcast you want to build or improve upon, you can find me at jagpodcastproductions.com or on social at Jag Podcast Productions. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Rock Pod. It is produced for the Royal Oak, Michigan Chamber of Commerce. For more information about the Chamber and Chamber events in 2026, you can visit royaloakchamber.com. Thanks, everyone.